My name is Steve Quern. I'm continuing. This video is a continuation of my IRONCLADS FLYERS version of the USS Monitor, CSS Virginia, and the H L Huntley of the American Civil War, and which is the this game system is a tabletop miniatures war game system for the Space 1889 RPG system. After completing the last video, I came to the realization that I missed a data line, and what I need to add is draft to this data sheet. So this is the original layout, and this is the one I modified. So what I'm going to do, so that's the modification I made. So the 3 lines, so what I'm going to do on the back side, okay, that is, I don't have to modify the back side. It's finished. Okay. On the final lines, we're going to add a feening. So for this format, to modify this format, I'm going to add mass total tonnage draft here. Not that one, this one. And this is going to be continued on back. And you see the backside needs to be changed. Oops. But I'm going to add the feeding line. Actually, it's supposed to be total armament costs. And a little bit. Come on. So I'm going to make the same change here. And that's the original thing. Now I'm not going to erase all of this. So what I'm going to do is just going to recreate and do a new one from scratch. Well, I'm just going to copy everything down. And then we'll just throw this, just crumple it up and throw it away. So name, type, flyer. So total costs. Nationality. Class. All size. Actually, this is an 8.5 by 10 paper, notebook paper. Legal size notebook paper would be better. I wouldn't have to sum these lines. If I was on an 8.5 by 11 notebook paper, some of these lines would not be so crunched up. I would have a little bit extra space to play with. Finding, getting the legal size paper or notebook paper is kind of difficult for me these days. I have to go to Office Depot or Office Max and to get that legal paper, and that's not I'm in Booneyville, so going there is not something I can do easily, and financial priorities dictate that I don't get 8.5 by 11 notebook paper. And then we have drafts. This would be shallow, middle, deep data, and that's draft is based on mass and hull size. So once you have the hull size and once you have the mass, you can determine the draft. Okay. And this has colons because these big ones here have colons because data is put here. This propulsion system, there's no data, so there's no colon. For propulsion, you have engine size, engine type, engine weight, and engine costs. Horsepower, okay, I'm having problem writing that on that line, so I'm going to rotate the paperwork. I'm going to have to redo all of these. Speed, movement, and then we have engine size, ship weight, PW, speed, hull size, and knots. And now I can start doing this. Coal bunker. There's no data here, so no colon. Bunker size. Bunker weight. Engine size. endurance. Armor. No data here, so no coin, but we have additional data here. Total weight. Total armor costs. Since it's given. Okay, so now we have the belt armor. Value. Armor type. Belt weight. Deck armor. Value. All size. Deck weight. Battery armor. Value. Hull. That's the hull size. Battery turrets. That's the number of turrets that the battleship is going to have. Size. This is how big the battery is. All size subtract turrets is the size of the battery. Max is the total number of guns you can have in the battery. All size minus turrets equals size times 2 equals number of guns per side, per broadside. And that's the max value. Total Oh, what's that? Okay, hull, subtract, turrets is size, times 2 is maximum guns you can have. Total, okay, that's the total size. Okay, total is the okay, let's reverse that. Hull size divided by correction. Hull size subtract turret and the number of turrets is the total size of the battery. Is a warship max is total times 2 is the maximum number of guns per broadside. Size is how big you want your battery to be. Guns is the number of guns that's in the battery. And then you have battery weight. Okay. Let's go with weight. Okay. So value is what the defense value is. Hull is the size of the ship. Turrets is the number of turrets on the ship. Total is the available space for a gun battery. Max is the number of guns you can have per broadside. Size is the actual size that you want for your battery. And guns is the number of guns that is inside the battery. And weight is the total weight of the battery, which would be the armor value and the size. Is based on armor value and based on the size. Okay. Bulkheads. Since I changed that data, add them on here. That's 4. Max is 8. Size is 2. You have a total of 4 guns inside the battery. Now, okay, so this is what's happening on this ship. Let's go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I have limited artistic skills. So the we can have total 4 batteries like that. But what I'm going to do, actually do like that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we are let's take that off. So what I'm going to do is actually this. Now what you can do, for example, this Warship. So we can say is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 per hull size. So you can have 6 per hull size, assuming there's no turrets. But we can also say is that that these guns are on a wing sponson that goes like that. But what I'm doing is saying north and aft sponson instead of a wing sponson. I'm putting the wing sponsons up onto the bow and on the stern. That's what this is. That's what this warship is going to look like. So there are 4 guns per broadside, but only 1 gun. But there's of the 4 guns, 2 of the positions is actually sharing the broadside, both broadsides. So you're looking at worship hall. I'm giving a bow ram so you know the difference. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a standard system that is being used here. Now, you can say that there's your battery. That this gun is in a sponson. So what you have here let's do this again. Okay, so this is the standard setup. But what you have a choice of doing this also. Use this would be the corner. This would be the corner sponson. You're going to fire like that, and you're going to fire like that. And what that would look like, I can't draw a straight line anymore. I almost have him probably writing. So what that would look like. Then that's the corner sponsons. Then you have the wing sponsons. which would look like this. Now this is a firing arc, that's a firing arc, 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 firing arc. So it looks something like that. Okay, now what I'm doing, something completely different. Okay. Sponson. That's a sponson, so the foreign arc. And so it would look like and that's what my ship's going to look like on the weaponry. This is a sponson, that's a sponson. Let's see some visual graphics. You see this? That's a sponson weapon system. It uses fire on the broadside, and it can fire on the bow aspect. These are not sponsons, but they can arc. They have a 45-degree arc, and that is a forward firing gun, which can only fire in the bow aspect. And that's a turret, which can fire on the bow aspect and in the broadsides. So the wing sponson is almost like, okay, it's similar to a turret, but it's part of the battery structure and not an independent thing on its own. Okay. So that's what that's all about. Okay, and right there. Let's see here. Okay, change. So bulkheads. Okay. I'm scrapping this sheet, so I'm just notified that it's done. Okay, bulkheads value. Value, hull size. And bulkhead weight. Then we have primary turret. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite that. Okay, now the issue on the okay. If you look at the cover of this ship, it looks like this. Whatever. Where did you go? There you go. Okay, so we have what we have here. Bow turret. We have well, first of all, you have a battery. The battery has a corner gun. There's one in there that has a quarter gun here. Corner sponson. And then it has 1, 2, guns there, and it has a turret. That's 2 guns. I can go like that. Okay. So, okay, that's the upper deck. Now you have this gun, which is forward, which is on the hull. So you'd be like that, and then you have 1, 2, 3 guns on the hull down here. So we go 1, 2, 3, and it looks like it has a turret in the back, and so it's going to be double like that. So that's what. So that's the arrangement of what this ship is. Okay, that's the weapon arrangement of that. So, for example, let's look at this. So these would, in real life, these would range between 4 inches and 6 inches, or 3 inches and 6 inches, typically. So, for example, this might be a 7-inch gun, or 8 inches actually. So this could be like 7 or 8 inch gun, and these would be that might be a 5-inch gun or 6-inch gun, and these would be 5s and 4s, and this would be 9, 10, 12-inch guns, between 9 and 12-inch guns. Yeah. Now, so you have basically one turret. Now, what they did in real life, sometimes, not all ships did this. So you had the main turret. Then you had a secondary turret, secondary main. Actually, I just read whatever. That should be like this. And then you have a battery. And then you can have quarter sponsons, or you can have wing sponsons. Okay. So, and these would be like, These would be like your 11-inch guns. The primary turret would be like 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever. And then these would be, if this was like 11-inch guns, these would be your 9-inch guns. If this was like 13, 14-inch guns, these would be 9, 11, 12-inch guns. And then these would be your secondary guns between 3 inches and 8 inches. Next, this is your main battery. And that would be your battery. And then the option for battery option 1 would be correspondence. Option number 2 would be wing sponsons. Down, okay, I got it. So, and as I said, and what I did with my ship is, so you can do so yeah, so that's what this would be the primary, and this would be the secondary, primary, secondary. Sometimes on the, you had okay, in real life you had ships that were like this. Main turret, and then you had offset turrets. And these would be your primary, the offset to your, and these would be your secondaries. Or they reverse it, and this would be the primary, secondary. Actually, I've gone primary and secondary. Okay. Your secondaries your secondary turrets actually tend to be single barrel turrets, and your primaries were your double barrel twin turrets. Now, when you got into the monster guns and the 1860s and 1870s, sometimes they're just single turret affairs. Like that. So, so you could actually have to be like offset. Be or you can be your offset. You can replace the offset with the corners. Your midships. Okay, sometimes they have that arrangement. So there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of diversity in on how you can do your ship designs and layouts. So, and whatever. So value, hull. Okay, I'm going to change the max. Maximum is based on the hull size, so we go with hull. So if you're a hull size 1, you can have 1 turret. If you're a hull size 2, you can have 2 turrets. A hull size 1, you cannot have more. You cannot have more than 1. Hull size 2, you can have 2 turrets, or you can have 1. Hull size 3, you can have between 1 and 3. Hull size 18, between 1 and 18 turrets. Okay. Okay, so then we have type. This is a single turret. It's either a single or double or twin. Size is how big the gun is. Are you carrying an 18-inch gun or are you carrying a 3-inch gun? Okay. That matters. Weight. So the type and the size determines the weight, and the value determines the weight. Then the number is how many turrets you have. This ship has 2 turrets. You can have, depending on how you arrange, you can have either 2 to 4 turrets for the primary. 2 primaries, 4 secondaries. 2 primaries. Okay, this is the user graphics of the. Oh, this is mine. There is no turrets, so that there's nothing there. Upside down. So no turrets here. And then the total weight. Yeah. So you weight times the number is the total weight for your turrets. And then we repeat the data on the secondary turret. And then we go on the back. Okay. Any total ammunition costs, total armament costs. And then we have name, type, player. And then so we have armament, uh, 8.5 by 11. This section would benefit from having 8.5 by 11 paper. Placement. Firing arc. Weight. And costs. And that's everything, so this is scrapped. So fix that mess. I don't write in pen very often. I don't write as much as I used to. I very rarely use pens, so this whiteout needs to be shaken up every once in a while to make sure it's good. So now we can get on to the actual warship designs. And that's it for this video. Time is 1 hour and 15 minutes.